Welcome, everyone, and thank you for coming to our D25 Club Success Workshop. This workshop is on using Speechcraft for membership building. We're always looking to add to our clubs, to our area, to our divisions, and to our district. Bringing in new people. Please let us know where you're from. Just put in the chat what city, what state, what country you are joining us from. And I want to make sure that you know that this event is being recorded. Okay. Want to attract visitors to your club? Yes, is the answer. Gain new members and re-energize your meetings? Having fun? Do you have an idea to launch a new club? We're here to help you. This session is ideal for your club, especially if you are less than 15 members attending meetings. Consider to be an A Club's #1 membership building tool. Speechcraft is a blended learning program for non-members interested in building their communication skills, keeping your club healthy by hosting a fast-track 4, 6, or 8-week series during your meeting to immediately boost membership. Hosting a Speechcraft series is ideal to attract new members to an existing club, conduct a program in the community, train staff in a business organization, begin forming a new club, and fundraise to offset club expenses. In this Club Success Workshop, you will discover how to host a series and the benefits to both your club and members. Effectively market your Speechcraft program. Design promotions that attract visitors. Then how to convert them to members. The key to the success of your program is marketing. And our presenter knows a few things about marketing. With over 45 years in graphic design, distinguished Toastmaster Shirley Rausch has written 5 books on marketing and have presented over 3,500 full-day seminars across Texas and around the globe. Add to that, she's been an active Toastmaster for nearly 4 decades and is a past District 5 governor from San Diego, California. Professionally, Shirley is yet the youngest woman to have earned the accredited speaker designation from Toastmasters. A 17-year published author, her Solid Gold newsletter design book was created for Toastmasters VPPR and VP membership roles. It became a course book for marketing at the University of Ottawa, Canada. Cheryl is also the author of The Heart of a Toastmaster, which published 135 true stories by our members. With our Club Success Workshop on, using Speechcraft for membership building, let's welcome distinguished Toastmaster, accredited speaker, Cheryl Rausch.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. Meta Club Growth Director. Thank you so very much for the invitation. Howdy, yeah, all y'all. Great to be with you in District 25. Thank you again for the invitation to be of service. So please download the handout out of the chat box. We're going to keep Jenny very busy over there. And since you're in the chat box, please answer this very first question. Let's have a conversation here. Why did you join Toastmasters? Let's light up the chat here as I open up the chat to read your responses. Why did you join Toastmasters? All right, tell me, and I'll share with you some of my story. I was at a Chamber of Commerce meeting in San Diego, and a woman came up to me after the presentation because evidently I must have been awful even just trying to introduce myself. And she suggested she wanted to know what I was doing. So thank you very much, Kim, for the networking. Thank you. I needed to become a better boss. And all my employees were my seniors. And I thought I need to treat them with respect as well as with my clients. So she suggested that I attend this 8-week communication skills series and that she would even buy me breakfast. This is a restaurant where I walked in on March 19th, 1987. So my 38th anniversary is coming up in just a couple of weeks. So why did you join? To gain confidence in public speaking, to communicate your thoughts more clearly, to grow in leadership. Thanks, Karen. And to learn to be a better speaker, more confidence in public speaking. Thank you, Lorenzo. To improve job searching skills. Yes. All right. And Phyllis, thank you, Madam Program Quality Director. Good to have you here, Phyllis. That your husband shared that it would be a good thing for you, and he was right. I love that. So when you think about why you originally joined Toastmasters and what brought us into the family, think about who else needs all those benefits that you and I have been able to benefit from. And let's keep that in mind, because our organization, our clubs, our areas, our divisions, our districts, and globally, we need to be reboosting our membership. So inside the handout, we are going to start in the very first bottom left-hand corner. And here's going to be the next question. This is a conversation, so we're chatting tonight. Marketing is what? All right, let's go back into the chat. How would you describe, define, or say what marketing is? Marketing is what? Thanks, Jenny. All right, follow the chat. Marketing is what? Grabbing others' attention. Yes, thank you. Great. What else? Telling others about something. Yes, usually that means we do it with great passion and conviction. All right, so Rick, thank you. All right, you started in 1986. There you go. Attending a Speechcraft. There you go. Yep, yep. Well, remember when I walked through the doors? That was a Speechcraft program that I joined, just like you did, during a Speechcraft. And we're both still here. So you joined to conquer the fear of public speaking. Thank you. To become a competent speaker. Thank you. And there you go. Within 3 years, you were invited to present a workshop at a regional conference. I love it. Okay, so marketing is that you have something that they need. Thank you. Getting people to buy pizza when they want a hamburger. Oh, now you're making me hungry. Providing solutions to problems. Lorenzo, have you attended this session before? All right. Inviting people to something of benefit. Marketing is showing prospects how we can meet their needs, introducing your culture. All of these are correct. Absolutely. I'm hearing some noise in the background, so if you can go ahead and click mute on yourself, thank you. All right, so here's what I suggest is our definition for this workshop for tonight, is that marketing is getting the word out. We are the solution to their problem. There you go. So on the front page of your handout, you might want to make a couple of notes there. And if we want to reframe the word problem, we can think about their issue or their challenge, just like you and I joined for Toastmasters to conquer the fear, to gain greater confidence. We were looking for a desired outcome, something very specific. So when you think about marketing Toastmasters, marketing your club, marketing an event, marketing a Speechcraft series, we want to be focused on what are their issues that we can help them achieve their desired outcomes. And you'll hear me say the catchphrase here throughout this session. So when we think about those needs, those challenges, the desired outcomes, and throughout this session, I'll encourage you to take a couple of screenshots. This might be one that you want to capture. The slides themselves, the slide deck will not be released. However, this session is being recorded for you. So think about why you joined. Why would someone else want to join? What is it that we have to offer? Where's our pizza? When they thought they only wanted hamburger. Now we can have a hamburger pizza. There you go. All right. So what did they join? Why do we join? What might they want from this organization, and they don't even know about us. So what we're going to be focusing on tonight is primarily people who do not know about Toastmasters. But here's what we do know. We actually have two markets inside of our organization. The very first is referred to as internal. That would be our current members. We're going to be focusing on external marketing messages, as in outside of Toastmasters, potential members, potential new clubs, matter of fact, people who do not know about us. So here is the main pot of gold, the catchphrase: match the message to that particular audience. If it is internal Toastmasters, let's say that it's club contests or Toastmasters Leadership Institute, those are internal messages. Club officer training, those are internal messages. So then the languaging that we use to attract them, and there's going to be 3 stages of how do we connect with the reader and bring them through and get the call to action and the response that we want. The message for internal is going to be different than that goes outside of Toastmasters. Make sense? All right, so let's take a closer look at that. This was for a session that I just did for, matter of fact, it was just last week for District Toastmasters 71 in the United Kingdom, which is Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and England. Did I miss anybody? Those 4 countries. And this is what they created. Notice it's anglicized text, so it's formal English, British English. So this was an internal message. The same thing for here. Now we have an external message. This is promoting a Speechcraft. We'll take a closer look at this one too, because I'm going to encourage you to go back into the designs that you have created to promote your club or Speechcraft programs that you've done, and maybe tweak them just a little bit to follow a very effective strategy, a rule of 3. So that's an external. All right. Now, even our websites, Golden Triangle, you won an award for best website on this. And here's what this external message is. So even though it says welcome to in the name of the club, here's the external messaging. Looking to grow your communication and leadership skills? Question mark. That is a message targeting non-members. So really well done. You want to have a question that names what the pain is or what is the desired outcome as high up on the page in the layout that you possibly can. Let's take a closer look at that. Over at page 2, inside of the handout. I refer to this as marketing communication. This comes from one of my trademark professional presentations, but I'm bringing you this information because it will change how you design. You'll never look at a piece ever the same way again either. There are 3 reading groups that we have inside of the US, and there are 3 stages of how to communicate with our readers. So let's start with the top section and let's break it down. At the end of this slide, I'll encourage you to capture a screenshot and I'll help you fill that in. So again, we're on page 2 inside of the handout. 3 stages. This information comes from research I did from David Ogilvy out of his book, Confessions of an Advertising Man. So when I gave seminars throughout Texas, including Waco, Tyler, Longview, across the states, and stayed with Jana Barnhill down in Lubbock, Texas, matter of fact. So this is what I taught for probably 8 years, even around the globe. So here's the very first stage. And by the way, they must occur in this order. So stage 1 is relevance. The question that the reader's asking is, well, should I read it, file it, toss it away, recycle it, or if it's a website, can I click away? Relevance needs to answer the question with the reader of the WIIFM. You've probably heard of that. Yeah, what's in it for me? And that is what we are all attuned to. The time available for us to identify that, yes, it's relevant to me, it's really brief. It's only 1 to 7 seconds. It's that fast. Even driving down any of your interstates, the billboards are less than 2 seconds of a time, unless we're stuck in traffic. Then it's only 2 seconds time that we are giving that in order to connect with it. So based on how well that the marketing establishes relevance, the reader goes with us into stage 2 now, which is confirmation. The question that happens at this stage is, was I correct? Does it relate to me? And the time available is up to 90 seconds that you and I do the same thing. And we are looking for, how does this relate to me? Because the 3 reading groups, 10 to 15% are non-readers, and they may need to have photographs and images. The second group matches the first. The avid readers are 10 to 15%. They will read everything that is in the layout, and they will be the ones who are the grammar checkers, by the way. If there's any incorrect spellings or grammatical, 10 to 15% are avid readers here in the US. That comes to us from the American Library Association. But the third percentage encompasses most of us. 70 to 80% of Americans today, we're skimmers. We need bullet points. We need photos. We want short body copy. Our job is to balance the message for all 3 reading groups and to follow these 3 stages. So here's what happens: that the avid readers are in stage 2, and they're looking through, reading all of the detail to see if they have any additional questions. They may give it up to a minute and a half. Relevance and confirmation, and then how well that we have met those needs in the first 2 stages. Then the third stage that the reader goes with us to is the action stage. We also call it the call to action. The question that the reader is asking, just like we do too, is, what do I do now? Or what do I do next? Hopefully, we have been very clear about: scan this QR code, register for the Club Success Workshop, sign up today for whatever that it might be, and create a sense of urgency. So the time available with stage 3 is now as long as needed because of those 3 reading populations. Non-readers, 10 to 15%, avid readers, 10 to 15%, skimmers, 70 to 80%. You probably even identify which one of those types of readers that you are. Where does this information then go into a layout? Let's say whether it be a flyer or a poster that you are putting into LinkedIn or Instagram, wherever you may be promoting your club, maybe on Facebook. This is where these 3 items are placed for maximum effectiveness. The very top is relevance. It's a small area up at the top. Relevance, the question, I love asking a question in the headline that names a pain, either 1 or 3 questions. So you'll see examples of that in these designs and the makeovers. Relevance has to grab their attention. It's the same way in really good speeches, by the way. When the contestant opens up with the powerful, profound question that we go, oh my gosh, I have to listen to this. It's the same thing in print. Speaking and marketing have parallels here. So again, the grabber of the attention. The majority of the layout now is going to be attributed to the confirmation stage, where the details, the longer body copy, the paragraph type of text, anything else that the reader needs to know in order to move them into stage 3 for the action. Go ahead and capture a screenshot here. I'll even smile. How's that? You want to keep this handy. So anytime that you are designing something, that you will remember the 3 stages of marketing communication, and you'll see how we do samples of this. So for instance, this happens to be Michael Pope. He is a member of District 40, and he is absolutely brilliant with his Canva workshops. Matter of fact, Denise, let me know if you'd like me to connect you with Michael. So he's out of, this particular presentation is for District 38 though, which is out of, I believe, New Jersey. So here's a single question up at the top. Single question up at the top. It's grabbing the attention. So there's the relevance. Confirmation is in the session you will discover. Now, notice that the tick marks, those are called implied motion or implied relevance, because now we as the reader are looking at this as like, oh, I'll discover powerful strategies, proven techniques, actionable. This is really well done, by the way. So again, confirmation is going to be answering the what's in it for me. The call to action down at the bottom. So if a Toastmaster logo was added to this, it would be placed down at the bottom. even though this is an internal message, our logos are best placed at the bottom of the layouts, not the top, especially on external messages. Now, if it's a club officer training, yes, it could be the District 25 logo up at the top because it's internal. However, it's still going to be more effective if the logo is placed at the bottom, following the 3 stages of creating a headline in bold, bold italics, 1 or 3 questions up at the top of the layout, and bringing the reader through. Make sense? There's more. All right. So for instance, and it was Sally Jett, right? Who we worked on this with. Denise, thank you very much. She gave me access to the Canva. I know I'm like a kid in a candy store when it comes to, oh, I get to practice with the design. This is great. All right. So this is where we started with, and thank you for letting me share it. It's very dynamic with the maroon, and all the branding is spot on, by the way, and black is one of our new branding colors since our centennial. So it's very stark. However, if I'm looking at it as a member, I don't know what I'm going to be getting out of it. So for instance, when I looked at this, and even though the photo matches and it looks good and everything, it reminded me of promotions that had been done when I was doing book signings at Borders Books across the country. 17-time author, and they featured several of the books. So for that, guest speaker, that could have said like, author signing books or whatever. I'm looking for less about me or the speaker, less about them, more about what's in it for me. All right, so using speech. All right, so that is, boy, that's a stage 2, but in a stage 1 area. Logo, we're okay with that for now. The date, okay, fine, but too much about the speaker, even though she is kind of cute. Yeah, okay. All right, so then I started playing with it, modified the colors a little bit. Now I started adding questions to it. Aha. All right, now the date is still up here. The date is a stage 2, almost a stage 3 item, yet too close to the stage 1 zone. All right, then I changed the photo because we are speaking out about Speechcraft, and this is more accurately. Oh, look, I am. Okay, let's see. There we go. That's kind of fun. Take a picture of that one. Okay, so then the questions are good, but they're not high enough in the layout. We have a soft call to action here. Let's boost membership. That's the goal. Less information about the speaker, that's fine. I just need to know that she has credential. All right, then register at, okay, fine. So then I thought, well, let's flip the script a little bit and let's go into lighter, maybe because we're heading into spring now. Any day now, as I was shoveling ice off of my back deck here in New York. All right, so here's an example of the 3 questions in bold italics up in the relevance area, stage 1, which the purpose of this then is if you answer affirmatively to any of these questions, aha, I've grabbed your attention. Now you are seeking the desired outcome of building your membership. All right, then here's a soft teaser. There's a question naming the pain. Attend this special club success workshop. Aha. So those are my questions, and I need to do this because this is what it's about, is using Speechcraft for membership building. Okay, now the date and information is lower. Aha, marketing expert. Okay, fine, got it. Logo bottom left-hand corner. If there was a QR code added to this, it would be in the bottom right-hand corner. And this is one of the promotions that was used for tonight's session. I like to know, well, what else is included? Because if we're looking at an hour and a half, 90 minutes of my time, for one thing, she better be good. And don't talk at me, talk with me. I want to be engaged in the conversation. That's what I look at. All right, so then it includes handout samples and ideas. Oh, by adding register at, it creates the call to action, a sense of urgency. You could even say sign up today, and that people would then go to it. So thank you very much for letting me play with that layout. Let's take a closer look at this then as a flyer. And I'm going to use this particular flyer as a sample twice in this workshop. This very first one, let's go through and analyze the 3 stages. That's why everything about marketing depends on how well that we use these 3 stages. That's why it's important to invest a few minutes to this, because then everything else is going to be making sense. And you will never design a piece ever the same way again. I'll encourage you to tweak the current designs that you've been using to fall into the 3 stages. All right, so this is a flyer that was used to promote a free seminar for my Toastmaster club that was actually dying. I'll come back and I'll share the story about that. Let's break it down into the 3 stages. So relevance, questions that name the pain, the challenge, or the desired outcome. Then it was a free seminar, not an open house, which free seminar, free event, free workshop attract more people with the knowingness that they're going to gain value for their time. Whereas an open house may seem as a party, with cookies and no, people are looking for how is this valuing my time? So they're still looking for what's in it for me. Speak Like a Pro is one of my other trademark signature presentations, and this is the one that I did, one of my professional presentations, spun with my story of why I joined Toastmasters and how Toastmasters could benefit them. So the confirmation helps them confirm that why this is relevant to them. Now, my club met in a hospital. So this is in San Diego, California, and our club was dwindling pretty quickly. And I thought, hey, let's rebuild it. Here's the magic wand. If somebody, the lady, the immediate past district director in District 71 in England asked me, give us the magic formula. What do you, how do you wave your magic wand? Well, this is it. Using the 3 stages, creating marketing materials that demonstrate that, and start with a free event to bring people in, then launch a Speechcraft series 2 weeks later, no more than 3. 2 weeks is the window to start the beginning of the Speechcraft series. Aha, stay tuned. There's more. So as we look at who do we want to be potential members for our club, ideally it would be the employees right there in the hospital, because of when we met right there in the community room, all of that. All right, so there's some information about where it's going to be. What is it? Public speaking and training tips you can use immediately. That's time-related words. Anything that creates a sense of urgency is going to drive the call to action even faster. So who is this session for? People need to know. They're still looking for confirmation. Is it for me? It's ideal for any level of management, administration, patient care, da, 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 da. Then there's a call to action for them. Bring your friends, supervisors, and coworkers to this program. Oh, yeah, because I wouldn't want to go by myself. Well, is there food? Is there food? Is there food? Yes, there was food, by the way. I don't know if I put it on there. Okay, let's see. Then what am I going to get by attending? How to authentically connect with others. Da, da, da. Okay, things I can use in my job. In this interactive session, okay, it's not going to be a lecture. Now check out the bullet points. Bullet points are like the tick marks. Those are stage 2 items in a stage 2 area that brings forth the benefits. Aha. All right. So then confirmation. Yeah, there's that speaker lady again. All right. Well then, what has she done that she's an expert in this topic regarding? Okay, blah, blah, blah. The avid readers are going to read that though. Then the call to action, stage 3, is down at the bottom, and there's the logo. Then this free seminar is proudly sponsored by, and then you name the club. We also asked for an RSVP, and let's see. So I didn't put that there was refreshments on there, but anyway, you want to let people know because there's nothing like free food that gets people. All right, we'll come back to that. Those were the 3 stages. So where do you start posting flyers like that or advertising for your club? Help your members find your club. If you're not on meetup groups, tell you what, here's an idea. Feel free to capture. Let's see. I think Jenny, are we putting this into the chat? If not, go ahead and capture a screenshot of it as some idea starters of where to advertise your club. Now, the number one reason that still gets guests to our club is the ASK principle. ASK equals GET. personal invitation is still the number one way to get people there. And Dan Rex, our CEO of Toastmasters International, I was on a Zoom with him yesterday, and he said that personal invitations is still number one on the list for getting people there. Number two is that they were told to go to Toastmasters is number two. Yep, it's still true. All right, get people there, start putting the flyers up. And talking about marketing, then the brand manual. So Jenny, thanks for putting that link into the chat box for us. The brand manual was just updated, including some phrases that are trademarked and highly suggested from our marketing department at World Headquarters to be using. So there they are. I typed them up, putting them into the chat box there for you. So consider using these. Now, how you might consider using these is to take one of these phrases, modify it slightly, put it in bold italics into a headline in the form of a question. So for instance, need to find your voice? Question mark. Want to learn how to relax and present confidently in public speaking? Question mark. Those could be the headline questions, and then tie the same phrase, these particular phrases, one of them, into your call to action. Find your voice today. Visit Golden Triangle Toastmasters. ... I call that the circle back. We like speeches that do the same thing. So whatever the opening is, it ties into the closing in that particular advertisement. So anyway, it's pretty exciting what we're doing. So make sure to be using our brand, our fonts, our colors, and our phrases. All right. So again, consider tweaking your previous promotions, applying this. So why start from scratch? Go back and utilize what you've already invested in. So let's take a closer look at this ad that you saw before. This is an external message from District 1 out of Los Angeles, California. The club Praise Masters created, it is a Speechcraft, but they referred to it as a public speaking workshop. So here's a question that I'm often asked. Does it have to be called a Speechcraft? No, it does not for your marketing. However, all of the materials do say Speechcraft. Speechcraft is one of our two trademarked program products from Toastmasters International. So Speechcraft, this is how it's used. All one word, not two words, not, with a space. And this is how it is trademarked. It is one of our proprietary products. Pathways is another one. So when you're using it, Speechcraft could be like a subtitle, or it could be smaller, or you can add, like mine was an 8-week communication skills course series. It was called a series. And that was 38 years ago. All right, so let's take a look at the 3 stages there. First of all, relevance. Do you want to become a better speaker? Now, I would have modified that. Instead of the bullet points, I would have done tick marks, which would imply relevance of, yes, I do want those things. And then it says, join us for Speechcraft. Here's the next concept of marketing. It needs to be about them, not us. When we say join us, that's why open houses, I don't think, are effective. For one reason is, join us for our open house. We're having a party. You come to our party. It just doesn't, it doesn't resonate. People are looking for, well, what's in it for me? All right, so let's go ahead and remove, bingo, the join us for. Keep the Speechcraft. Now we have confirmation. What is it? An 8-week intensive course to help you. Now it's about me. The concept is called being reader-centered, reader-focused. It's about them, not about us. So you can go through your marketing materials anytime and take a red pen or a pink pen in this particular case, and go through and circle every time that something is written there about us, instead of not them. It's looking for a green one. So then this would be anything that's about us, but a green felt pen that you highlight, you go through anything that's about them. And ideally you want your marketing piece to be more green than it is pink or red. This is about to help you become a what? So who, do what, help you become a more effective speaker and leader. And then the cost, the investment, $70, and then when it is and registration information. All right, a couple more things here then. So the call to action. Now, watch, let's see, I believe it's her photo right here. See how she is looking off of the page layout? We will look at whatever they're looking at in a photo or a cartoon, by the way. So that's implied motion. That's not good. Ideally, what we would want to do is to flip that particular photo and have her facing into looking at the text. These are all stock photos, which are available to us for free in the brand portal. So again, this is a tweak of what the design could look like. So coming up next month, I'm speaking for District 95, which is a large district in Europe. So several European countries will be attending their Speechcraft Membership Building Masterclass. This is the design they first started with. And then they also gave me access to their Canva. I love it. All right. So I'm going to show these 3 samples to you very quickly, and you can watch the tweak. You can watch how the makeovers happen. Again, it's well done with the branding, the fonts. Most everything is in the right place. However, let's do some changing on it and see how we can make it even more effective. Notice it up at the top. It says join us for an exclusive workshop with whoever she is, doing what's in it for me. Oh, there it is. The last thing. You'll dive into proven strategies and innovative tactics. So it's the smallest thing on there, and it's the last thing mentioned. All right. So again, being reader centered, what can we do? All right. So let's do some tweaks. Aha. Logo is still up at the top. Now, one bold italic question up at the top that names the pain, and then the subtitle of what it is over in the yellow bubble with the maroon. That's a very active, strong call to action color combination, by the way. So anytime that you can do yellow with the maroon, that is going to move people to action. So there, use it wisely in what you would, how you would want people to do. All right. So then attend this masterclass and discover what, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So that's fine. All right. So it kind of shifted around a little bit. Now, here's the final one. All right, so then again, learn innovative tactics and sample worksheets. And so this is the one that they're actually going to be using. So again, tweak your designs and keep your notes handy and refresh your memory of what goes where and why. And you will never design a piece ever the same way again. And because of this, you'll never look at a piece the same way again either. I challenge you to open your junk mail, tomorrow and just go through and see what catches your eye and which ones you go, oh, this is bad. Because there's a lot of, even email. Email is the same way. So let's talk specifically about boosting membership and why, and specifically in District 25. Let's bring it back a little bit and let's think about our regular club meetings. There are 15 meeting roles. Have you counted them lately? That would be with 3 speakers without any overlap. That means that you are not a speaker evaluating yourself and your own counter. I know, we've done that before. All right. Plus 1 Zoom master if it's hybrid or virtual. That means 16 people present. So how are you doing so far at your club meetings? Could you use some new membership? All right. So then plus table topics participants, which means that I don't know about in your clubs, but in mine, we do not call on prepared speakers who are trying to get in their zone to get ready to give their presentation. We don't call on them for table topics. They're off limits. And so are major functionaries. Therefore, you need more people. And plus, we need to have visitors for coming for every meeting. Okay, so you need audience members. Makes sense, right? Well, how many people is that? The goal is 25 people at a meeting. Write that down. That's our goal. Now, why is that important? Well, because we have a club mission. We have a district mission as well. So with that, we need to have healthy membership. And our mission, our charter, indicates that we need to have 20 members or more at all times inside of our clubs in order for us to stay healthy. People move, they pass away, they think that they've gained everything from the program, and so they move on, which is fine. And then people come back, especially when we have reunion meetings, where the alumni or our former members come back, for that charterversary. So 20 is our membership goal for a community club at all times. If you have a club inside of a business or a corporation, or it's referred to as an employee training program, the number there is 25 that's suggested. And often the business is responsible to help maintain that 25. All right, so then this gives us some more numbers, and why that is, just like I do, that the more members, there's more creativity, more engagement, more feedback, more fun. Yes, more educational accomplishments. It would be a positive problem to have too many members, that people are lined up, signed up in advance, that the VP of Education has a list of people that if somebody cancels at the last second, oh my word, oh, yes, you can, okay, have a hip pocket speech. Absolutely. So this is what we need to do. Now, District 25, you have a large territory, and that's getting ready to be modified a little bit too. I'll leave that to your district trio to introduce how a couple of more areas are going to be joining your particular district. So you are reaching out from Waco to the Oklahoma border and San Angelo to Irving. I've spoken all of these places before. So this is what your current territory is. And I pulled this from your website, by the way. Matter of fact, District Director Jesse, you have indications on it on your own webpage. So back to July 21st. And we are an organization in constant movement. So we're going to be changing some of our territories. All right, Club Growth Director Denise, thank you very much for information regarding District 25 membership specifically. All right, so this is good to know that in your district, you have 1,700 current members. As the clubs break down, there are 34 clubs, which are very healthy at 20 or more members. Yay! Stay healthy, stay healthy, finish strong too. June 30th is the end of this Toastmaster term. Now, under 20 clubs is 71 clubs. 71 are less than charter strength. And we have 43 clubs that have less than 12 members. Now, the good news is that those can be rebuilt. The good news is that if you want to reach out and be a club mentor, a club coach, reach out to Denise and she will help to connect you, because you could help energize another club. A great way to do this, we have Talk Up Toastmasters going on right now through the end of March. And of course, Speechcraft is going to be valuable. There's a Phoenix Award, and a couple of my clubs have received the Phoenix Award before. And basically, it's when you begin the Toastmaster term with less than 12 members, but you build to 20 or more before the end of the Toastmaster year. You also have the District Director 20 or more award. So thank you very much, Jesse Ford, that clubs maintaining 20 or more members through the end of the Toastmaster term, then you receive this recognition and the award. So I have a couple of questions for you straight away. So first of all, who needs Toastmasters? As we've been looking at marketing and sharing some of our own past, who needs Toastmasters? Feel free to put those into the chat, because it's everyone, isn't it? It really is. And whatever brought us to Toastmasters, other people need it too. We need to invite them. So as you're thinking about this, and feel free to put some notes into the chat, so your ideas can help inspire other people in this workshop. Who are specific people? Maybe they're the demographics of who they are. Maybe they are retired. Maybe they are college students getting ready to go to one of the local universities or one of the regional training centers. In professions, what are their roles, their positions, their titles? What types of businesses and organizations? So put your thinking cap on for a second. And especially as you think about North Central Texas, everyone does need Toastmasters. It's tough to market to everyone. So here's how marketing is also very effective. That we imagine, it's called an avatar, that there is a particular group that needs what it is that we have to offer, or that they have specific needs of the desired outcomes. So, for instance, there is an English Vietnamese online club that has started, and that they asked me to be the launch educational presenter for their Speechcraft. I ask a lot of questions. Just ask Denise. I ask a lot of questions before I give a presentation. I asked for more information about who would the speech crafters be. They are 12 young professionals that all have been born in Vietnam. Many still live there, but they work with multinational companies. They have joined a Speechcraft series, 6 weeks in length, in order to learn job interview skills, team building skills, better communication skills, effective meeting management. How do you run an effective meeting, as well as general communication skills? Very specific. So when we talk about Speechcraft next, think about who specifically could use a Speechcraft series for them, because it could be outside in the community. It could be inside of a business, which is ideal to start a new club, make Denise's day here. Yes. Then who needs what you have to offer? One of the programs that I did for Speechcraft for 20 consecutive years was for the NFL San Diego Chargers, now the Los Angeles Chargers. And I had a volunteer team of 10 Toastmasters, including world champion contestants, two of them that had gone to the main stage of the world finals, plus past international directors, region advisors, and 4 female accredited speakers like myself and Jana Barnhill, that we were the volunteers running the Speechcraft program for 28 young women, young professional women, who were the Charger cheerleaders. Every single year, 28 different women, 20 different years. We completely tailored their Speechcraft program because they needed help on not only standing up and speaking, giving presentations, but media interview skills. So you can take a Speechcraft program and completely tailor it to who these specific people are, what are their desired outcomes, and now, big what's in it for me, because now they love this program. They're going to stay inside of Toastmaster clubs after their series has completed, because it's a safe place to practice and because we're so much fun. That's why. All right. So people that want to share their messages, thank you, Lorenzo. And I did effectively. All right. So then start naming them. Great. So Rick has a novel idea. Specialty clubs for specific subsets of population. As an example, advanced club for professional speakers. Yes. Comedy humor themed club for humorous comedians. Yes. Speechcraft could be used to jump that new club. Absolutely. Absolutely. So who needs what we have to offer? Professional athletes who give the interviews. Yes. And I did coach one of the owners of the San Diego Chargers. Yeah, I did. Yeah. So who needs that? All right, so keep thinking, because then we're going to talk more about how do we bring people in, especially using the Speechcraft program. Again, one of the other incentives right now is Talk Up Toastmasters through the end of March. All right, so let's take a closer look. Now that we understand that marketing is that we are the solution to their problem or their desired outcome, that we're focusing on the external messaging to people who do not know anything about Toastmasters, and to enroll them in a series or coming to a free event, and then launching the Speechcraft seminar after that, because we want to be of service and support for people who are interested. On the District 25 website, here's a couple of pages that I found. I love this. Thank you. Really well done. Again, more information about Speechcraft, which also gives you the hot links into world headquarters Speechcraft areas. There's also lessons of a Speechcraft coordinator. And Jenny, thank you very much for running our chat box tonight. You're very enthusiastic. So is Kim about running Speechcraft. And thank you. I hope that hopefully you're putting questions, put a Q in front of the question and put that into the chat box. So if I don't answer it, it will still be answered by one of our team here. So there's great information about Speechcraft. So what do we do? Well, it is one of our proprietary products. So there's a couple of caveats regarding Speechcraft, and to give you an idea, it must be hosted. So whether it is a 4, 6, or 8-week series, the Speechcraft must be hosted by a club in good standing. The club pays, preferably through the treasury, the $50 for the Speechcraft bundle, which includes information for 5 speech crafters. That's our affectionate name for the people who are not yet members, who are participating in this particular program. Now, so the club pays that. It's a direct expense. However, you can also use it for fundraising. I'll come back to that. So the club pays the fee. If a member pays the fee, then make sure that there is a proper trail of reimbursement to that member from the club treasury. All right. Make sure to keep all the funds there. The club member becomes the Speechcraft coordinator. So here's an answer to one of the very first questions that I often get. What happens if you have more than 5? Great. And make the goal more than 5. So let's say that you have 8 people sign up. Great. You still need to buy 2 bundles. You still need to buy 2 bundles. Yes, it's $100. However, stay with me because you can make money on this. All right. So you have 8 people who are going to participate. And by the way, the members get the entire program for free. So they are active as guides and mentors, helping coach the speech crafters. And you need one per each person. So make sure that you have your club support. This is where you could bring in outside members from other clubs in your area, in your division, or if it's online, to be those guides and mentors. You can do that. The coordinator must be a member of the hosting club, period. All right, so you have 8 people, which means you buy 2 bundles. Now you can have 10, but you have 8. Fine. Get a second coordinator from your club. Then both of you have 4 speech crafters each, and you work hard for this. You do. This is a requirement for Distinguished Toastmaster. So then by hosting a successful Speechcraft series, each of you receives credit towards your Distinguished Toastmaster. Amazing. Amazing. So yes, you can absolutely do that. The other question that I did go to TI regarding is that what is a minimum for a Speechcraft series to be held? TI's official response was 1. I will tell you, it's a lot of work for just one Speechcrafter. You want to really enroll people. So stay tuned. I'm going to go back to that flyer that I showed you and add a second flyer to it. You have resources galore to help you with a promotional video. Everything is online. Everything is there. So flip over to page 3 inside of your handout. And Jenny, we may need to put the handout into the chat box again for those who have recently joined. Thank you. All right. So this is page 3 inside of the handout. This is a worksheet to help you plan and to implement it. And I'm going to point out just a couple of things on here. And by the way, I have carefully written all of the text in everything that you see inside of my handouts. So if you want to snag something, if you want to cut and paste or use the text, you can, because I've really thought it through. All right, so the speech crafters use all of the skills that you and I also learn. The next paragraph down, there's a nominal fee which covers the digital materials. That's the $50 per 5. And ideally, so here's the magic formula. How do you convert the speech crafters from participating in the series into becoming a member? First, consider hosting the series during your regular club meeting, because now you know that it's going to be convenient for them. They get to know you, they become part of the family. It feels very safe for them, and they've already paid their tuition. The investment for their course includes ideally 6 months membership, or whatever it is, you can prorate it to the end of that dues period. The maximum fee, TI policy, is no more than 2 times of semi-annual dues. So it's $60 every 6 months. The maximum you could charge one Speechcrafter is $120. Howdy. All right, so you're thinking, there's no way. Yes, there is. What if you went into a business with this? $120 for a 4, 6, or 8-week course is a drop in the bucket for a corporation. And let's say that you host it for the executives, so the CEO, CIO, OMG, all of them, $120 for a 4-week, highly tailored series for them. Then they get excited and they decide to have a new club started. Now you have another corporate training program with 25 people in it. Aha. Okay. So then what do you do with that money? Oh, thanks for asking. All right. The funds which are used, which you could be using it as a fundraising for your club, must stay within the club to be used for educational purposes, TI policy. All right. So when my club hosted a Speechcraft, and I'll give you the results in just a second, they wanted to throw a party. They wanted to throw a party with the money that we made from Speechcraft. I'm like, hello, TI policy must be used for educational purposes. So what does that mean? You have your district conference coming up. I've seen the advertising for it. You could have a scholarship, which falls under the educational umbrella, and you could pay all or a portion of that club member's attendance to the conference. Wow. You could purchase another Speechcraft bundle and have, then you're prepared for 6 months later to do another Speechcraft series. Aha. All right. So that 120, let's take a closer look at that. Let's see if I have some. Yes. All right. Feel free to capture a screenshot of this. All right. So working through what the formula could be. $20 for a new member fee, and you would approach them after they have, or probably like 2 weeks ahead of when they complete whatever the series is, whether it be 4, 6, or 8, that you encourage them to stay for ongoing practice, because part of the fee, the tuition that they invested, also included meetings through and then name that particular date. So $60 dues for 6 months. You have a new member fee of $20 after they complete, and that your Speechcraft is uploaded, officially ticked off as completed at world headquarters. All of the paperwork is done. Then they can become members, and the presentations that they did during their Speechcraft can be applied for their very first path. So all of that is included. Jenny, feel free to add more notes. Kim, add more notes into the chat regarding how you actually do that. But after the program is completed, then yes. So then $10 for the Speechcraft program. All right. So it costs you $10 a person. You can charge $90 to $100 a person. Yeah. Wow. Now we're talking. And how you sell this is that you've already invested, that the what you've invested for the tuition includes ongoing practice. Keep coming back to the meetings, participate as you can, keep your practice going, keep building your confidence, keep getting better about time, energy, task management, keep selling the benefits of what they've already been experiencing inside of Toastmasters. All right. So then also inside of your handout, page 4, this is a sample flyer as a model. So let's say that you are creating a flyer. Again, this follows the 3 stages and the branding with the fonts and the benefit driven text. So again, you can use this as a model, complete with the bullet points and all of that. Use it as a sample model when you are creating your flyer to help enroll people. Yeah. And then everything inside of the Speechcraft coordinator's information, your packet, your gateway, everything is included there. So as an overview, then you're thinking, well, what do you talk about? Well, you have educational topics. Each of these 8, topic 2, 4, 6, 8, then for an 8-week course, agendas, everything is included. So whether you decide a 4, a 6, or an 8-week series, everything is included in your coordinator's material. All right, we're going to come back to this because it relates here. This would be a promotional flyer that actually has the series schedule on it. So this is for an 8-week series. This is what I saw when I was invited to the 8-week communication skills series that the lady at the Chamber of Commerce invited me to because my self-introduction was so bad. She did buy me huevos rancheros, by the way, and tortillas were flying across the room. I love it. Just wonderful experience. It was an 8-week session, just like this one. So the topics that we just saw apply right into the series schedule. Aha. So then who gives those presentations and where do you get the material to give that? Thanks for asking. You can use the Better Speaker series set because these are all ready to go, 10 to 15 minute educational presentations. All right, so remember the part about how do you re-energize your members? Either your members can give these presentations and get credit for their own pathways projects and be very fulfilling. It's personally fulfilling to be able to help mentor other people or bring in people from outside of your club that bring fresh energy to help re-energize your members. This is a win-win. I love it. So this is a promotional flyer that you would do for the particular series. All right. More information about the Better Speaker series. Well, here you go. There are, is it 12 different topics? All 10. There are 10 different topics that you can download for free. It is item number 269. So if you go into toastmasters.org, you can do a search up at the very top and it says item 269. It'll take you directly to this, or you can do a search for the Better Speaker series. It's under the education programs, under resources. Each of these is free. If you want to become a better speaker, if you want to become a professional trainer, these are loaded. They have the slide decks for you and the speaker curriculum guide. Oh my gosh. And they're all free. They're all free. What if you don't want to do a Speechcraft series, but you want to do a Talk Up Toastmasters, or you want to have a free workshop, just get people interested in your club? You host one of these topics. You do a flyer for it. You do a free seminar, free workshop, have some food, bring people in, and you can use these particular topics for that as well. Wow. I know it's free. Amazing. One of the benefits for us as being a member. Page 6, these are frequently asked questions. So I put this list together for you. And let's go back to this flyer. So remember the free seminar that we did 2 weeks ahead of when we were going to do the Speechcraft program launch. Here are the results of that. Remember, my club was suffering. I approached my club to say, okay, we really need to revitalize the club or the club is going to fold. Well, one of our members, our VP of membership, Mary, worked in the emergency room at this particular hospital. And she says, hey, if we don't give this some cardiac, some cardiac resuscitation, some CPR, this club's going to die. And I thought, wow, she's a medical professional sharing her opinion on that. And she was spot on. She was spot on. So I pitched the idea to my club board and said, here's what I would be willing to do. One of my professional presentations. How many people can we hold in the room? And I looked up at the fire code and one of our VP, I think it was VP of education. He goes, ha, 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 we could never do that. And I go, well, it's important to set goals. So what if we all aligned with that? Here's what we can do. Here's the strategy. Free event, 2 weeks later, launch the Speechcraft. Well, who's going to do it? I'll come back to that. This is what we use for the flyer. Now, it was an in-person pre-COVID. All right. So put that into perspective. In-person pre-COVID that we were hosting this free presentation. Okay. Then the club provided the snacks. We promoted this flyer around the building, in mailboxes, everything across the board, posted on bulletin boards. The outcomes, 65 guests who were not members of Toastmasters already. This means that's ideal. 65 not yet member guests. 10 of us club members, that's why I said we were headed for the Phoenix. 14 people enrolled that night for the Speechcraft that was going to start 2 weeks later. Plus, those people went back to work and said, hey, oh my gosh, I'm going to be doing this. It's so much fun. You ought to do it with me. 4 or 5 more people enrolled at the series start 2 weeks. So between the free event and the Speechcraft, then me as a speaker, I said, tell you what, this has been a free seminar for you. Come next week, just for the heck of it, see what a regular meeting is like. And then we're going to start the Speechcraft program for you, tailored for you the following week. Here were the club results. 12 to 14 new members from one Speechcraft program. And one member, remember when I brought it to the board, I said, well, who needs credit toward their DTM? There was one member that the VP of Education hadn't been tracking that this was the final thing that he needed for his Distinguished Toastmaster. We went from nearly dying to President's Distinguished in less than 6 months' time. Now, as the speaker, this is the flyer. Feel free to capture a screenshot of this. This is a flyer that I designed. It's completely done in TI branding, colors, fonts, everything. At the end of my session and going into Q&A, my 9 club members stood up and they handed out these flyers to the 65 people in the room. Every person had a copy of the flyer, which had the details. And again, we charge $50 inclusive of training materials and weekly, look down here, weekly club meetings through September 30th. So again, this was in 2019 and COVID, we were shut down in March of 2020. So all of this was in person. Had we done it again, we probably would have had 2 Speechcraft coordinators, but Floyd did an outstanding job. All the guides, mentors, the club members absolutely jumped in. That's amazing results. And they wanted to throw a party. No, so we sent people to the district conference coming up. So you could call it something other than a Speechcraft. You could call it a 6-week communication workshop or a course or a series. This club out of District 12 in Riverside, California, so east of Los Angeles, they call it a crash course in public speaking, and it works. They have ongoing Speechcraft programs. So there you go. I recommend that you do them every 6 months. All right, so let's open up the chat again. If you would, in the chat box, indicate what your interest is. What are you interested in doing? So put a number 1 if you want to conduct a Speechcraft in your club. And then if you would, please name your club. That'd be great. And then Denise will follow up with you as Club Growth Director. Put a number 2 if you want to host a Speechcraft to start a new club. Again, Denise will follow up with you. Number 3, that you'll complete a Speechcraft before the end of this Toastmaster year, which is June 30th, by the way. And number 4, maybe you're currently conducting a program. And which club is that going to be for? So we're getting ready to go into questions, but we definitely, that's more for our team behind the scenes here to prepare for that and see which questions that we can answer. Go ahead and keep light up the chat then. What's your interest in doing a Speechcraft? So I may have you, I don't know, was this Jesse who popped a note that you could purchase a club pass and send to all of your Speechcrafters? I'm not sure what that means. Well, please answer that question for me.
That was me that put that in there. We typically for our conference, we one of the offerings is to purchase a club pass,
For the
and it's valued
conference.
for the
For the
conference.
conference. Thank
Correct.
you. Thank you. I
Correct.
didn't have context for that. That's
Yeah,
very
I'm sorry,
cool.
I wasn't complete in that.
That's
What?
that's a great idea.
Yeah, because it helps the new members to connect with the district in
And
early
and the
in their
current members and the current members who have
yes,
never been
yes,
outside of their club.
correct, in early in their experience. So
Oh, I love it.
yeah.
This is great. All right. So Diana, thank you. I know you've been talking, you said that you've been doing Toastmasters all day. There you go. Okay, great. All right. Wonderful. 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 Keep putting what your interest is in the chat box there. There you go. So a couple more incentives and support that you have. So again, the Phoenix Award, again, if your club like mine had been less than 12 members, you can build it back up to 20 before the end of the Toastmaster term, and you can qualify for the Phoenix Award. The Happy Charterversary. So this would be on the anniversary of the chartering of your club. You might consider calling it a reunion meeting. And I'll tell you the success behind that. We still have it on the anniversary of our club chartering, but we call it a reunion. And it's interesting because we will reach out to previous members of our club who have drifted away for whatever reason. And because our club, thanks to COVID, is now hybrid, that people could attend no matter where they are. And the results are astounding because when they come to the reunion, they realize how much they've missed the family, and they join again. It's pretty doggone cool. It's like, oh man, I miss you guys. Okay, here's an application. And they join, and then they stay again, and they bring more people in. Again, the district director 20 and more award. These are posted on your district site. And here is Denise. So reach out to her, Denise, if you would please put again your email and what people should contact you for as well. All right, Phyllis, thank you that you're on here too. Put your information for how would you like members to contact you and for what? So thank you. And Jesse, just because. So if you want, as district director, if you want to add to this, then why
Cheryl,
would people, yeah.
could you speak a little bit to what would a Speechcraft coordinator, what would their role look like? What's some best practices for a Speechcraft coordinator for the district?
You know what? I am going to bring this back to the gallery and invite Jenny or Kim to answer that question. Oh, a Speechcraft chair for the district.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because the coordinators for the club for the actual
Okay.
Speechcraft
Yes.
event. Okay,
Yes.
I get it. Okay. So a Speechcraft chair, when I served this for District 5 out in San Diego, I would be the hub where when anyone was interested in hosting a Speechcraft, they would reach out and say, hey, thinking about doing one for this particular club. And at that time, I think there were only 8 weeks. So, okay. And here's what we're thinking for the start date. What do we need to do? So it would be that person that would hold their hand, walk them through how to purchase a digital bundle, because there's a couple of things. I think Jesse, you and I were talking about this before we went live, that when you purchase a digital bundle, couple of things, that it should be purchased by the club, if at all possible, otherwise a member of the club, and be reimbursed from club treasury. When you purchase it, hold on to the code that's what you purchase. That's gold. You
Okay.
do not need to indicate who the speech track coordinator is going to be, because that could change. Do not post the start date of when your program is going to start or the completion date, because you are held to it. So keep those 3 things open until it is absolutely locked in. All right, so back to the Speechcraft chair, that they would be the person collecting. If you're interested, hey, reach out to this person first, and they will walk you through, and they'll provide probably the links and give you that information of do not enter this or this, hold on to this is what you want to do to go back to your club. And then that person could also track how many potential people are going to be, or if they don't have 5, then it could be that they keep another list of who are people who are interested to attend a Speechcraft and it's finding the match. It's being a matchmaker. Speechcraft,
Okay.
a Speechcraft chair for the district would be a matchmaker.
Awesome. Awesome. Yes. Thank you.
Sure. Diana's got her hand up. All right.
I Denise, I think this would really be good if we had a kind of a go-to person, but the education department at TI is pretty responsive about things. I mean, I've called them maybe 3 or 4 times, and they were nice to answer questions too. So
We do need someone
Diana.
locally, though. We need someone
Yes.
locally.
yes, that's what I said. That would be the best, but yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that they are very helpful for people
Yeah.
who have
Yeah.
the idea and have the incentive to move forward with that. But we've got clubs that is not even a consideration for them. You know, they're just not aware to get the word out and to have someone who can, you know, have that conversation. It's kind of like suggesting a coach. A Speechcraft can be another tool that we recommend to our clubs that are, you know, less than 15 members, and helping them to build their members, and clubs that are struggling before they get to the point where they're just too tired to go on. You know, that I think.
I had a real misconception, as long as I've been around. Feel bad I didn't know this, but that it's not just for non-Toastmasters. That I was surprised about that. So, you know, if you need 5 and you've got 3 from, but you said you could have 1 and it works. So I didn't know that either. So
that was TI's response. If I'm thinking, because it's a lot of work to do for one particular person, right?
I'm seeing that.
Right. So yes.
Yeah.
Good. Thanks, Diana.
Do most clubs charge people for it?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
Yeah, most do. There's a couple of exceptions, and that would be if it's a nonprofit organization in the community and that's your passionate cause, or like we didn't charge the Charger Girls for it because that was our community outreach from our district. That we did not charge for it. My corporation underwrote all of the fees, all of the materials. You know, but that was our choice. But say that you want to conduct one of these for a speakers bureau. It could be, you know, does the club want to underwrite the $50, you know, the $10 a person? And yes, you can do that. Otherwise, I'm a firm believer that people need to be invested.
Yeah.
You know, even if it's $10 for a 6-week series, at least they've invested something.
And if you had a district chair, you could suggest, so it might be somewhat similar pricing by other clubs for what the, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Because the Speechcraft chair could say, when you are setting your fee, typically a 4-week series, this is what we recommend.
Right.
For a 6-week series, this is what we're, you know, so yes, you could. Yes, you could. And then the club, bottom line, they determine what it is that they're going to charge. But yes, you could. Good point, Diana.
Yeah. I've got to hop off for another meeting. Okay.
Thank you for attending. Thank you for your input. Thanks, Diana. What questions do we have?
And there is a question that I think we just answered, but someone asked, is it free? And when does that $10 fee come in? But I think we just answered that question. Another question about, do you have an example of how you streamlined a Speechcraft session for corporate leaders?
Being a corporate trainer, I can make some suggestions. So what would be helpful? Do we have some more input on what type of corporation might that be? As an example, because everything is about tailoring. So if I can have, what's the industry?
It's healthcare. And I will tell you, I work at a huge healthcare company. It's a system, and we give speeches and presentations all the time. And we could definitely use some speaker training.
There you go. There you go. Okay. And that's what we did for my club that met in a hospital. That's exactly what we did. So then the presentations, because they were mostly hospital employees, then we would say, okay, who is your audience? So anytime that they're getting ready to give a presentation, who is this speech going to be for? What is the desired outcome? What's your call to action? And okay, help us understand who is this for. Very tailored for them. All right, then inside the healthcare organization, then at what level are you presenting to? So it's the same thing. It all needs to be tailored. You know, did you notice how tailored this workshop was for you? Yes?
Yes.
Like over 40 hours of my time went into this. And this is a free I do speak for chocolate, by the way, and I don't remember what Texas best chocolates, but we can sort that out. Anyway, so when I speak in lieu of my fee, it's for chocolate. Okay. So anyway, so things need to be tailored. You would do the same thing, Jenny, with for your speech crafters, is help them think. The very first educational speech in Speechcraft is about what do you speak about? What's your topic? I would, even for all of us as experienced Toastmasters, I would not waste an opportunity to give a Pathways project on a topic that is not related to what you need to be practicing on. No, you need to be strategic and purposeful. Same thing. So help the speech crafters do that as well. Who is your audience? What's the premise of your presentation? And that first educational, covers that. Then what do you want them to do as a result of hearing this particular presentation? And then like the program that I did for Speak Like a Pro, I break it down to who are the 7 main listening types. Because inside of that organization, let's say for healthcare, then you have linguistic people that will catch if there's a typographical mistake, the semantics, they need the stories. The second group is more of mathematical. They need numbers. What's the bottom line here, sweetheart? Visual people, we need to see it. We have a tendency to, wear sparkle. So, and use colors in our visual aids. And then you have the musical, that's the cadence with which we deliver the pacing and the pausing and the volume. And then we have the kinesthetic, and taking notes with different things. And then we have the interpersonal and then the intrapersonal. Those are our 7 main multiple intelligences or processing of listeners. We, as the speaker, need to connect with each of those. So what I just did for the Vietnamese group of young professionals, I brought that program for them, and in less than 20 minutes, educated them on how to connect with 100% of their listeners. You would do the same thing. So what's of value to them? Then you tailor those educational, the Better Speaker series set. You tailor those. Don't use them just like they are. Tailor them for your speech crafters, and your members are going to be engaged. They will love that. Great question, Jenny. Thank you.
Good answer. Great answer.
That is all the questions that are in the chat. So I don't know if anybody has one that just wants to jump in. You have a minute before we stop the questions anyway.
Oh.
Right? Isn't that what the time schedule said?
It is.
How many people in the chat have done a Speechcraft or been a part of a Speechcraft? Oh, wow. Nice. Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Cheryl.
You're very welcome.
This has been very engaging. You've had me locked in for the entire time. And I am looking forward to promoting Speechcraft within our district to give our Toastmasters an additional tool that they can use to bring in new members and to promote their clubs and make some tweaks and changes to fit their culture to entice other people to come along and join them.
That is very true. Share with others the benefits that we have gained, to paraphrase Dr. Ralph C. Smedley. Share with others. Make sure to
Yes.
save the chat, by the way. Save the chat. It's loaded. Jenny, thank you. Thank you. Kim, thank you. Denise, thank you for the original invitation. And I know that your region advisor, Jamie Pickering, was kind of probably twisting your arm on that. And District Director Jesse, thank you very much for you responding to my questions as well. And Madam PQD Phyllis, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for attending this. And I wouldn't be sitting here 38 years later had I not been invited to attend a Speechcraft program. So I'm a walking, sitting testament that this program works. So share it with others as well. It's been my privilege to be of service to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Cheryl. Rick, do you have a question or comment? You're on mute.
Hi, Rick.
Just to tag on, we talked about sharing with others, and one of the best ways we can do that is if we can craft essentially an elevator speech that's a personal testimonial from someone they care about or know that addresses their specific needs. And using myself as an example, I came in through a Speechcraft. I was terrified of speaking. I couldn't stand before 2 or 3 people, lead a silent prayer. Within 3 years, I was invited to present a workshop I had designed at a regional conference to an audience of 150 people from 9 states. And I got rave reviews. Would you like to do that? And if that's not enough, another epiphany I had after I'd been in Toastmasters a while, it dawned on me that since joining my first Toastmasters club, my income had more than doubled. Is that worth $100 a year and an hour a week of your time?
Yes.
Rick, that's a great testimonial right there.
Yes.
I guess what they want to do. I mean, what's in it for me? I want to be a better communicator. I want to be a better leader. I want to earn more money. Well, that's what we do.
And when I was invited to Speechcraft, I wanted to be a better boss. I never had thought about leadership and what that even meant. And I did not have the goal of being a professional international speaker or author. So Toastmasters really opened the doors for me, and it probably saved my life. It definitely changed the trajectory of my life. And I would not be here nor anywhere without Toastmasters. That's probably why I stay. That's my why I stay.
And that's a key point. Why we joined is not necessarily why we stay, because once we've conquered whatever that challenge is, the next bigger challenge comes along. I mean, I joined just to survive and become kind of good at this thing. But when I was winning speech contests and talking at conferences and so forth, new dreams took hold.
Yes.
And I stay to give back and help others reach those goals.
Yes. Yes.
Ah, thank you, Phyllis. Ah, we got the heart. Ah, thank you.
Yes.
Well, thank you. So this session has been recorded. Please do share it with others.
Yes.
You are welcome to share it.